White Metal Games. My name is Caleb, and I'm the owner of the studio. We are a full-service miniatures and conversion and painting studio operating out of Raleigh, North Carolina on the East Coast. We offer a full range of services, including painting, conversion, commission work, consignments, if you have models you want to sell. We also do some sculpting, some casting, scratch builds. We offer just about anything you can think of for miniature wargaming or hobby enthusiasts, as well as role-playing enthusiasts. We do dioramas, full giant robot scale models. We do everything from the little 28mm figures to the smaller 15mm Flames of War figures, all the way up to grand Titan-sized models. I thought I'd take just a second to show you around our workshop and give you an idea about our process and how we do things here at White Metal Games. So I'm just going to sort of walk you through the studio and show you our process from beginning to end, just to give you an idea how it works. So this is our studio. Now our studio is, as you might imagine, based in a garage. We do that to keep our overhead price very, very low. Our studio based here on the East Coast processes hundreds of orders every month. We did a little over $75,000 last year, and we plan to do about $100,000 worth of sales this year. In addition to the services I just mentioned, I'll just sort of walk you through the basic operation. So once orders from clients come in, what we do is we take their order and process it, and we start by ordering their models. Their models are ordered from a variety of vendors, including Games Workshop, Reaper, Miniature Market, whoever we can get the best deal by. We try to give our clients the best deal we can. Most of our vendors offer us 25% off plastics, which means that we can give that savings back to you, so we can put that into the quoted price. So unlike buying from your friendly local game store, which I do support, and I do think you should definitely do that, we're able to give you miniatures for a slight discount. That allows you to use that money towards things like shipping, painting, and conversion work. What we're doing is we're taking the hassle of building your miniatures and painting your miniatures out of the process for you. You're able to get the miniatures shipped directly to you, so you can just start playing the minute you open the box and unpack. Just to give you an idea of how we actually go about it, let me take you to our work area. So this is what you might call the heart of our operation. We are a mid-sized studio, meaning that there's only a staff of less than 6 of us here. So this is actually where we do most of our building and scratch work. We have a plethora of bits here. Now this is just a representation of our small bits. Of course, we have a larger bits wall over there, which has dozens of kits and everything from terrain and larger pieces that we can't fit into our bits bins. But we use a variety of tools at our disposal to assemble everything from small miniatures to custom-built miniatures. For example, here's one of our custom-built figures we're working on right now for a studio army. It's a little difficult to see there, but this will eventually be a Scorpion-style miniature. We also do custom work, for example, on other types of figures. For example, this is one of the lower torsos for one of our Tyranid Primes that uses a variety of bits that we put together. After your miniature is assembled, we will take it to our painting stations, and we will use it there. Now, this is my personal painting station where I do only of the painting that I do. However, we have several other painters on staff. What we do is we host various painters from the area. So we look for local commission and artists that work on commission that we can actually bring into the studio as a resident painter. Once they're under our resident painter banner, what that means is that we will actively promote them, we will actively try to find them work, and we will try to pair them with clients who we think their projects would be best suited for. For example, if we have a client that comes in with a Tyranid project, which is a bioorganic life form in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, we may try to find a painter that would best be suited to work on that particular project. Maybe someone that likes to do organics or blends or wet blends, that sort of thing. It just really depends on the type of client that we have and the type of project that we have booked. Clients that prefer a much cleaner, crisper look, like something from that just came out of a factory or just off an assembly line, we'll try to find a painter that would better match that project there. So like I said, this is where painting works. As you can see here, we have a variety of models in various states of painting. Once painting is done, we will send pictures to the client to show them the entire process and show them how the project has come along. We also send them status picture updates. Just, for example, if they have something that's a custom conversion and they want to see how it's coming along, we will send them work in progress pictures to show them how the projects are going. For example, down here in this bin here, we have a variety of projects that are currently being worked on. Here's a good example of one of our custom miniatures. This guy is a Heldrake conversion for the Chaos Space Marine line. He's been converted from a basic Heldrake kit, but he's been given these Tomb King style flying wings, and we've also given him this Hawk style head. to help accentuate the sort of Tzeentchian theme going on for the army. It's an Egyptian-themed army, and we're including Thousand Sons in that army. So it's a combined studio army. A lot of these armies we build from scratch, and then we turn around and sell them on our eBay store, which I'll provide a link to at the bottom of this page. We also have a very active blog at the moment that we use to promote our work as well. We don't currently have a web page at the time being. We are looking actively for a web promoter or web designer in the Raleigh area. So if you are such a person and you're interested, please contact me. You can reach me at my email, which I'll also list below here, but I'll mention now for convenience sake. My email is calebfilm@yahoo.com, and I usually try to get back to you as quickly as I can. But back to our process at work. So once your miniatures are assembled and painted and any sort of conversions have been approved, we will take them to our digital photography station and we'll photograph them. For example, here you can see a project that was recently completed by one of our painters named Will Shuck. Will worked on this project for a few weeks. This was a Slaanesh project, mostly troops. We also had a few vehicles that were thrown in there. The vehicles have currently been wrapped up. Once we get these photos done, we're going to send them over to the client. Once we get his approval, we'll then take those photos and we'll create a gallery for the client to look over. We'll also post those on our blog, and we'll post those on our YouTube page. We'll create a video like this so that everyone can see them and enjoy them and see what we're doing. Once the client signed off on the models, they will be sealed with usually an anti-shine matte varnish. That way that they'll maintain the original color and consistency of the models, but it will also protect them from chipping. Once those are done and sealed and they're nice and dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take them over to our shipping area. And our shipping area actually consists of several things. You can see our giant packing peanut balloon up here. We also keep dozens and dozens of boxes in stock, from every size to our large boxes to envelopes, padded cells, priority mail, USPS. We usually ship most of our items USPS. We also use a variety of packing materials, including bubble wrap, tissue paper, packing peanuts, of course, and we also use just common sundry items like toilet paper. Tissue paper like this is actually very, very soft and great for the models. It helps to ensure they don't get damaged in shipping. We'll find an appropriate size package for your shipment, and then we'll actually individually wrap every single figure. So, for example, here you can see one of the figures that was wrapped up very, very delicately. We use more than enough paper to ensure that he will arrive at your place, your residence or place of business, nice and safe. Those are wrapped in tissue paper. The box is usually a brand new box. We buy these boxes from our own individual vendor, just so we make sure that it's not a thrice used box that's been banged all to get out. Any delicate items will be shipped in individual boxes inside the larger box. In this box there's an Ahriman and his familiar. We wanted to make sure that the client got those nice and sound because they are such a nice piece. Usually for the independent characters we spend a little extra time and we lavish a little extra effort on the figures. Of course, these guys are not just in toilet paper, they're also suspended in a bath of these packing peanuts, and beneath that we're going to layer some bubble wrap. So it's a thrice wrap package. It's the nice cardboard, tissue paper insides, packing peanuts, and then bubble wrap on top of that. What this allows is for all your models to arrive nice and safe and sound in one piece. We rarely have breaks. We almost never have chips. And in the event you do have any sort of damage, just email me. We'll be happy to offer you any sort of recompense we can. Generally, we ask you just to send the model back to us. We'll fix it. We'll touch it up. And we'll send it back to you free of charge. What else can I tell you about things? Once these models are packed up and shipped, we're going to make sure that we get them to you safely and securely. We usually use USPS for shipping. Priority mail, generally in the United States, takes less than a week to get to you, so it's fairly fast. You'll get them very quickly. Our turnaround time on projects ranges from a few weeks to to longer. Most of the time, small projects only take about a week or two. Larger projects take about 4 to 6 weeks. For example, a large army of 2,000 or 3,000 points might take you the better part of 6 weeks to get back. It's because we're a smaller studio that we can give you more personalized client-to-customer service, or client-to-buyer, us to you. We want to make sure that we give you the best possible service we can. Because we're not a very, very large studio, we have time to answer your emails promptly. We usually get back to you within 24 hours or so. Once you've approved the models and they've all been packaged for shipping, what we're going to do is seal the box up. We're going to take this to the post office or have them pick it up, and we're going to provide insurance on the package. The insurance will normally be enough to cover the price of the base models. It won't be, of course, enough to cover the price of the painting, but if there's any sort of problem, we will be reimbursed and we will rebuild your project. project. We only ask that you be patient with us and allow time. If there's any damage to the parcel or anything like that, our insurance will allow for any sort of recompense we can offer you in the event of problems. However, we rarely, if ever, have problems. I haven't had an item go missing in over half a year at this point. So my point is that we use the most secure shipping methods available. We don't only do miniatures and painting, we also do larger scratch-built figures and terrain. Here's a good example of some of the terrain projects we've recently been doing. These projects are for sale on our eBay page. These represent small barricades and barriers for city fight scenarios. These are painted to a very, very simple tabletop standard. With a lot of models, we just paint them quick and simple, sort of a dry and dirty job. The point of that is that we can give it to you at a discount rather than spend hours lavishing on a figure that really is not going to see a lot of table life. Terrain's a good example of this, where you don't see a lot of actual scrutiny of it on the table. It's something that you sort of just use as a utility piece. We don't spend a lot of extra time on it, unless you have something you really want lavished, like a mighty imperial fortress or a great cavern complex or a base of some sort. At that point, we would spend as much time as we felt was appropriate for the project and, of course, for your budget. We also do a lot of scratch-built miniatures here. Let me show you some of our recent scratch-built work, and I can get to it. Here's a small assortment of demon princes we recently worked on. A lot of these models we actually build just as sort of proxy pieces. We like to build models just to show you as examples of what we can do. Here's a good example of one of our most recent demon princes. This four-armed monstrosity has these nice custom wings. Now, we're a big fan of kit batching here. And by kit batching, I mean we don't limit ourselves to one individual line of miniatures. Although we do, of course, do custom GW and 40K miniatures and that sort of thing. A lot of our clients request really odd and extravagant miniatures. They want something that really pops on the table and really stands out. Like, for example, let's say you wanted a Primarch. The Space Marine chapters under the 40K banner oftentimes have Primarchs or Princes or Legionnaires or Emperors or that sort of thing that you really want to spend a lot of extra time admiring. You want it to be a centerpiece for your army. So for that sort of thing, that's one of the beauties of what kit batching can do. For example, here's an example of Magnus the Red. This figure was kit bashed from a variety of different miniatures, some of which we had in the studio, some of which we special ordered. As you can see, he towers over his Astartes Brotherhood, and even in this Traitor Legion, he's a sight to behold. For a scale comparison, here's the other Demon Prince we worked on recently. And that's just a few of the miniatures. We also do things like dioramas, individual figures. Here is an example of a banner bearer we recently did for a Space Wolf army. See if I can get him into the light for you a little bit. In addition to custom miniatures, we also cast some of our own items. For example, here's some of the recent projects we've been working on for casting purposes. This is a smoke terrain, some terrain bases, some walls. We try to make it a one-stop shop here so that anything you need we can try to tailor to your needs as best we can. Here are some terrain pieces we recently worked on. This is for a icy tundra style world. You can see bones here are sort of mired in this snowy residue. So that will be sold as a set, or we might break it up as individual pieces. Here's an example of a work in progress. This is a mighty Imperator Titan. This model is almost 48 inches tall, and when fully assembled, he will be quite the centerpiece for any apocalypse-style table. This model took several months to assemble, and there's actually a full video series dedicated to this model on our YouTube channel, which I'll provide a link for here at the bottom of the video. So that's it, basically, in a nutshell. That's White Metal Games. Don't be surprised by the fact that even though it's a smaller studio operating out of a garage, it doesn't hurt our individual service at all. One of our hallmarks really here is personalized customer service. We try to get back to you quickly and efficiently. And although we are a small studio, we are growing. We would encourage you to contact us at our email, calebfilm@yahoo.com, or just to send us a message in the comment section below. Check out our webpage or our blog site for the time being, whitemetalgames.blogspot.com. And check back here for regular updates. Please subscribe because we do try to upload videos at least once or twice a week. And we'll be showing you more projects in the near future. We're always churning out something new here in the studio. studio. We try to offer the most reasonable rate we can while at the same time being competitive. Generally, our painting rates are very reasonable. We find that our assembly rate is on par with some of the leaders in the industry, like Blue Table Painting or Worthy Painting. And our shipping is completely secure. So even though you may pay a little bit more for shipping here than you would at other studios, it's only because we want to make sure your models arrive there safe and sound. After all, they're your most promising investment with us, and you've spent time and money on them. We want to make sure they get to you safely. So please contact us at your convenience. We would love to talk to you about a project. Of course, we will try to do anything we can to keep it within your budget. And if it's something that we can't do in one payment, maybe we can do it in installment payments. We're happy to work with you. So until next time, put your minis where your mouth is. Happy wargaming.